Hi, I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson.
I'm Jay Washington.
And we're here to review Black Lightning Season 2, Episode 8, The Book of Rebellion, Chapter 1, Exodus. And if you haven't seen this episode, you might want to come back later because there will be spoilers. Jennifer and Khalil run away together. Black Lightning and Tobias will pursue them. Jay Washington, welcome back for the last episode of the mid-season of Black Lightning.
Well, you know what? It's a surprise they're taking a mid-season break. I think they did it last year, but it's the holidays, so.
Well, last time, too, it was a mid-season show. So
that's what it was. That's what it was.
Gap time.
That's what it filled in the mid-season break.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm happy to be back. You know, this has been a dope season, and to share it with you has been the best. I wanted to save that till we got on camera.
Aw, that's so sweet of you. That's how you know the friendship is real, and we're not just pretending that we like each other for the sake of these review videos. We finally get to see Khalil being really cool for good reasons.
Well, you know, he's realizing he can't be what Tobias wants him to be. Mm-hmm. We saw that in the previous episodes after he got his ass whooped. And then, you know, now when they're going on a run, he realized, okay, we can't go far without money. I got to make a quick pickup. Mm-hmm. You know, we didn't know a quick pickup meant going to Club 100.
Yeah, he really makes it seem like he's going to go pick up some stash that he has
That's
somewhere.
What I thought at first. I literally thought it was going to be a stash. Like, okay, I've been keeping this tucked away for a rainy day. Now this is the rainy day, but evidently not. So.
Do we think it's fair that by the end of the episode, Jennifer is really, really upset with him that he went and kind of thugged out one last time?
I mean, yes and no. Mm-hmm. I think for me, it's, yeah, she's upset because he didn't tell her. Yeah. That's that. But she's not upset because it's like, you have good intentions, even though, you know, people were shooting at us.
So I guess the end justifies the means. It's not a major plot point, but I did want to bring up in the opening sequence, we do see like a green light baby being dragged through the hospital, and that was really silly. I thought maybe he was going to show up later, but it was just a really good for that featured extra. He got a pay bump to do that.
To be half naked with the cops having to keep a straight face, because the cops need credit too. Because the black cop looked like he was finna break laughing at any moment. But I was like, okay. Also, speaking of the police station, More Henderson.
And More Henderson actually being a cop, which we haven't had since Tobias went to jail, really.
No.
And it's really nice. We stand Damon Gupton here on this Black Lightning review show. It's always nice to see him, but kind of like Quentin Lance on Arrow, it's nice to see him being good at his job.
Right.
Not that he's not good at his job, but it's nice to just be able to see that and to see that he's still involved.
And especially when Len comes to him and tells him, like, look, I know you and Jefferson have had your issues, and he stops her like, no, Jen is like my niece. I'm going to do anything for her. Yeah. He's like, but we got these green light babies,
running around.
But it's cool because it's like, it shows he's still a cop. He knows how to do it. And then when he thinks that the body has been found as hers,
That's a great moment, yeah.
He darts out.
My hope is that, because Jennifer and Khalil are only going to be allowed to get away for so long, they'll come back into the fold eventually.
Yes.
It's my hope that he gets to be a part of that. Because obviously he can't be out there with sort of Strike Team X, you know, running around in Gamby's van. I get that. But to have him involved, I thought was really, really nice. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah, it is great to see him.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how do we feel about Tobias coming to Khalil's house to talk to his mom?
First of all, Tobias is the scariest thing because he was in the house when she came home from work. She put her keys down, put her purse down. She probably was going to take her bra off at the door because it's just her at the house.
He did a Nick Fury.
He was just sitting there. So, how you doing? Just want to read a book? It's my favorite, Moby Dick. Of course it is.
It's got a harpoon in it. I mean, what more could he want?
But I like it the way he confronted her, and she even was like, "You're gonna kill me." He was like, "I have a rule: no moms." You know, because he's a sociopath. He's not a psychopath. Yeah. He still has that. He has that bit of compassion. He
has rules that he plays by.
He has a set of rules. Yeah. Now, had it been a dude there, you were gone. Like, if she had a boyfriend that was just waiting, he was dead.
Absolutely,
He was for sure dead. But the mom, you know, he even respects her. Because he tells her, you're a strong black woman. How did you raise such a weak-ass son? Yeah. I was like, well, damn.
We've seen Khalil's mom. I think her name is Nichelle, the character's name. We've seen her sort of here and there throughout Black Lightning so far, but I really liked her in this episode. And I like that later on she goes to Lynn and we get to see two mothers having each other's backs. Because I feel like in fiction you often see parents at odds with each other, but in the real world, moms especially especially would have each other's backs like that.
I grew up in a neighborhood on South Side Chicago where all the moms grew up together. And when the kids came along, the other mothers were able to chastise us.
Yeah.
Because all the mothers had that understanding. We're going to keep you all in line.
And you respected them.
And you respected them accordingly. So to see them get together when one child, well, not one, but both of their children are missing, you know, and even for Nichelle to admit, like, listen, I brushed y'all off before.
Yeah.
But now I should have listened. So it's a great thing to see, and I'm glad that it happened. You got a lot of exposition in this episode.
I think probably because we're coming up to the series break that it's going to set up a pretty powerful episode in the new year.
That seems like that's where they're going, because you finally get some backstory on different things that's leading to a bigger plot point, kind of like we had with the Looker situation in the past 2 episodes, where the first one is like, it's setting up a lot, and here's the payoff. Yeah,
and I think this is the beginning of a 2 or a 3 episode arc, so it makes sense that it's a little heavy loaded right here. I don't mind that. What I really liked about this episode is we finally got rid of Khalil's dumb ass wig.
Okay.
That we all have been waiting for him to cut.
All right. So let's say this just straight up to the camera.
Please.
Okay. So Jordan, when I met you at the set visit, we were talking. First thing I asked you was about the hair. And you were like, you just gonna go in on me like that? Yes. I wrote in my notes, praise God, Khalil gets a haircut. Because all right, fam, I'm with you.
Also, check out Jay's channel, because that's where all that good footage and info is going to be.
I do need to update it, but we'll talk about that later. But there was a lot in this episode, because we find out that Khalil's had a tracker the whole time. And I thought it was his phone at first.
That would seem to make the most sense, because in the last episode, too, when Jennifer finally rescued him with her powers, like, he'd been tracked there, and we were kind of talking about, was it on his coat? Because he had that meet with Tobias.
Right.
But it's a little more close to home than that, shall we say.
And Jennifer is learning to control more and more of her powers, too, as we're seeing.
In a really exciting way. Like, we see her jump-starting the car.
Jump-start the car. When she did the power surge to his tracer, that was the one that got me, because she was like, okay, I can do it with one finger. Wait, let me try 4. She's like, that's too much.
Yeah. And that, to me, speaks to their bond. I mean, I know we've known that they're sort of the Romeo and Juliet of this universe.
Yes.
But that really shows how much he trusts her, despite everything and all the bad that he's done to her, that he's going to let her basically into his central nervous system.
Literally.
I don't know if I would let a lot of people all up in mine, so that was really powerful.
So let us ask for the people real quick. If you had a tracker and Jason Inman was the only one able to get it out, do you trust Jason enough?
I do. Jason Inman was in the Army, so I think he could handle that.
Okay. If he wasn't military, is what she said. It's not happening. But there's a lot about this episode, so much. And then you see, even at the end of the episode, Tobias starting to piece things together.
Even though he seems to be falling apart, like all of these storylines are couples, right? Like it's the 2 moms, it's Anissa and Jeff starting their quest, it's Jennifer and Khalil, and then it's Tobias and Tori, who obviously has passed on. May she rest in peace, I guess. I like the callback to that, though, because it is reminding us that Tobias is a real person. Like you said, sociopath v. psychopath. He has those ties, and that this whole season and a half has affected him as much as it has all of our good guys as well.
I think, I agree wholeheartedly, but the fact we saw him talking and answering himself.
He's going a little crazy.
Because it wasn't just him talking to Tori and then him going, you know what, you're right. I do actually. We're like, well, who responded?
And then he tells the new assassin girl, he tells her, like, I was just talking to Tori yesterday. She goes, she's dead. I know she's dead.
Like, and she been... Which, by the way, we find out that him and the assassin, who is named Cutter, have had some sort of relationship in the past.
Yeah. We don't know exactly
what it was.
Whether that's a working relationship or a romantic relationship.
You know what? I would have to lean on the being romantic because of the spitefulness that is. But now they're going a business route. Yeah. So it's like you try to put that to the side.
I thought she was really cool. And I think that there's not enough cool knife fights in Hollywood. There's like the one in Eastern Promises, and that's it.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed the scene in poor Khalil's auntie's house. I appreciated her when Khalil showed up. She didn't really care about Khalil. She was like, Jennifer, tell me you're okay.
Yeah.
He didn't kidnap you. Like, that's a good woman. That is a good woman. And they destroyed her kitchen. God damn it, but the fight was really cool. I really
that fight
enjoyed
was
it.
very well choreographed.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I've learned about this season, and we've been talking about it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The fights have elevated their standards, and the choreography and the stunt work that goes into each fight has shown so well. It doesn't look like it's forced.
Yeah.
Everything that happens is flowing. And to see Jordan Calloway and potentially his stunt double.
He did a lot of it, though.
He did a lot.
His face.
You can see Jordan does a lot of his own stunts in this, which I got to give a lot of credit for. Any actor that wants to sit there and take that chance, I understand it's a risk, but you want to prove you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a great thing to see.
How did you feel about the Thundermobile, shall we call it?
The Thunder ATV,
Yeah.
it came off, I'll admit, it came off kind of corny. It did. Just because
It's a superhero.
I mean, it's a superhero show. Because he was like, I think you should write something of your own. In other words, like, get your ass out my car. What do you
Yeah, truly. Well, and you said you were like, oh, I was waiting for Jefferson to be like, what about me? And then we were like, well, right, he flies.
He flies.
He's fine.
He's all right.
I thought it was fun. I'm sure the Thunder cycle,
Well, the lightning cycle.
Thundermobile, I'm sure it's going to pop up in future. It wasn't just for this sequence in this episode.
I wonder, is that what Gamby was sketching in the last episode?
Oh.
Or is it
look
he
at you
sketching a
putting
bike?
stuff together.
Yeah, it's two. Yeah, put these 2 + 2.
I already forgot what happened. Just kidding. And the episode does conclude with Tobias going, oh, the Pierce girl. It's always the Pierce girl. Okay. And look, we all know that Cress's jawline would have realistically given it away, but I would really appreciate it, and I think Black Lightning will do it because the writers are so good to us. I would really appreciate it if Tobias finally figures it out this season.
I think he does. But I think the issue is going to be now a common superhero trope where their villain finds out and they torment them with their real identity.
Yeah.
You know, the whole, I'll tell people who you are. And Jefferson's biggest thing is, I don't need anybody to know who I am because I want to protect my family.
And especially because he is such a public figure, which is something that we touched on at the start of this season, and I'm assuming we're going to loop back on with old man Lowry.
And that's a good.
That's all I can think is a steak sauce when I think about him.
I think of Mike Lowry from Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. Soon to be Bad Boys 3. I think also, real quick, I think that is a great thing. The fact that we've had multiple story arcs where we don't conclude them. We hold on for a second for this one.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Hold on for a second. Then the first one may come back, but at the end they all come together and it's never convoluted.
And they do reference things like, we talked about the green light baby.
Yes.
Even just appearing in the beginning of this episode calls back to that first arc in a way that other shows, Flash, likes to forget things and then never return to them ever again. Like the whole rules of the universe and time travel. So, Jay, on a scale of 1 to 5 lightning bolts, what would you give this episode of Black Lightning?
So
our mid-season finale.
Mid-season finale, I would give it, there's a lot of things taken into consideration. The exposition, the fight scenes, what we had characters developing, characters arriving, new emotions in a sense to see how Lynn is getting throughout all this.
She's so good.
I initially wanted to give it a 4.5 lightning bolts. That's what I initially wanted to give it. But when I kept putting everything together in my brain, give it 5 lightning bolts.
I'll agree with that. I will say that I appreciate that this is the beginning of a mini arc. I don't think it's as exciting as we are used to seeing for the mid-season finales in the rest of the Arrowverse shows, because this is the first of many bricks that's going to be laid down in the Book of Rebellion, I think is what this arc is called. But it's so well done and it's so well crafted. And the fact that we got a cliffhanger out of it all with Tobias beginning to put this together is really impressive. 5 out of 5. Black Lightning continuing to slay. All right, Jay, tell everyone on the internet where they can find you, support you, and hear more about your set visit.
Yes, you sure can. Where you can actually go is to my Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J Washington. That's MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. Check out the Mad Titan podcast, MadTitanPodcast.com. MadTitanCast.com. It's on iTunes, Google Play, and everything. And my YouTube channel, youtube.com/JAYWashington80. Sorry for taking up so much time.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back with more Black Lightning in the new year. In the meantime, there's going to be all kinds of stuff going on this channel, so please stick around. Support us directly at patreon.com/Jawiin. Come join us in the Hall of Justice and be a super friend, and have a happy new year.